All right. That was awesome. That was a smash hit. I've been trying to make that for a while. I was thinking of like, I could do like that or other constructional design techniques or just keeping going. After I made the first one, I was like, I should explain the techniques or the foundations of the foundations, the structure that builds the series of techniques that I'm going to use. And then there's a whole bunch to build on from there. Yo, this is the dopest though. I was like using this as my example of like different angles and forms and the top bit. I didn't even see that, but it's like a quote from the Haruki Murakami novel Dance Dance Dance, right? The goat man said, "No promises you're going to be happy. So you gotta dance, dance, so it all keeps spinning." Right? Yo, it's definitely the quote from Dance Dance Dance. And just the other day, I was sitting there, and the book's always in my room, but I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if I could find that exact quote? Like how cool would it be if I could open it up to the page with the quote? So open it up like halfway through, and don't you know it? It's just like the main character talking to Yuki. Um, so I'm like, I missed it, and I glance up on the page. There's the quote, man. I didn't miss it at all. I got the exact page on the first try, and I wrote this on my page, right? Because no promises you're going to be happy in life. You got to engage with it. You got to move. You got to dance so it all keeps spinning. You got to keep new things coming in. It's not like you have to solve it or you'll never figure it out. You don't even know if it's going to go well for you, right? But you got to keep moving. You got to engage with the rhythm and flow, and it's a theme in Dance Dance Dance, and it like leads to all these crazy adventures. Awesome. Goddamn great Haruki Murakami novel. Can't recommend Dance 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 enough. It's not my number one or two. It's great. It's great and timeless and priceless. Years old, yeah, it's super great, but not in my top three. You don't know how much I love Haruki Murakami. And this guy, what's a Frankenstein of all kinds of different nonsense patterns. But it still kind of fits together. Like I'm trying to do Metal Gear Solid 4 muscle suit stuff where it's a synthetic muscle. Yeah, the gecko's legs have it, and the other things have it as well. Love this thing. I love this thing. No, I've been designing shapes for a long time. Ships. These three are like referenced. These three are not. And then I change up my references a lot. So it's not like I'm trying to sell them or ever trying to take credit for anyone else's work. But it's nice to use someone else to have like a shape, or the ships that I do always seem to be like in panels, There's a couple of like main panels or shapes that you could block in a couple of faces for, and then you do designs. No, that was so fun though. That's my favorite quote right now. I'm like, yeah, really good. This is for the game idea I've been working on recently. I got a whole bunch of arts for that. No, honestly, the line work is a thing. Line work and gesture. You're mixing constructive drawing with gestural drawing. You see some Fengzhu turtles over here? Oh my god. Yeah, rewatching FCD reminded me of just how many times Fengzhu just kicked my ass so bad. um, I mean, it's not like he meant to, but sometimes it was like, geez, he's like, there's this one video where he's like a 1930s style sci-fi car, and it's like perfectly done in perspective, and the design's there. And then he does like perfected line work over it, and he does like 3 of them, and it's in like 1 hour. And I'm like, good God, man. Yeesh. And then other times, yeah, like you have to work like 18 hours a day, doing this if you're going to get a job in the industry. I'm like, I have to find a different way to learn. No, I've gone through my share of setbacks and obstacles. then you find your own way and like things that work for you as well. And really, I do so love Feng Zhu and his crazy work ethic and how he like articulates design. Yeah, Feng Zhu's a legend. And when he did these turtles was another time when he's just like drawing reference from animals to learn forms. It's just this really nice, fun little turtle reference drawing video. And I'm like drawing turtles with him. And then he's like, and then from that, you can go into this. And he draws like all these carts and straps and wagons with these people like riding on all of these just turtle references we did. And I'm like, what? In like 10 minutes. We go from these designs of turtles to this whole turtle riding society. And honestly, he's just showing off where if like you spend a couple hours looking at different tribal villages and the way that they construct chairs and ropes and things like that. So you learn how to do these things really well. Then when you're drawing turtles, you can be like, and those are the luggage behind them. And it's like boxes and rolls. And those are the straps. You know, it's like you learn different things and you add them into your visual library. And then as a designer, when you learn construction and gesture real well, then you can just like put things together with your mind. And we were using what we just did, you know, the angles to draw some more turtles, to draw some more angles on the troll riding people. I thought that was just so cool. But even more than that, I was kind of like, oh, this line works nice. So I started drawing Luffy. We got Luffy over here. That'd be fun. Your Luffy say fuck. He always protects his friends. It's like, fuck with my friends' lives. And the action in One Piece is so good. It's so flippin' good. Him Gatling on Hody Jones up there. Yeah, when you go between different practices and exercises, you'll start to notice some things between them. Like you're always working with three-dimensional space. And if you do this, you can start to engage with storytelling. If there's a scene that's got some crazy action in it, there's one that does setting, and you're like, you know, setting up shots, or like world building. So you have technology and things going on. These are not like the same thing, but just to like jump around and practice many things. Yo, yeah. And then I got a pinup of Tracer that I'm working on, that I've been working on. And I figured just as a victory lap, yeah, we'll work on Tracer in a minute. Let's see, we got, nice. This was good. This is good. Oh man, the whole time I'm thinking like this wasn't right. That one, I go through the whole like time of like checking on it, and those are almost the same the whole time I'm watching the video. I'm like, fix it, man, fix it. Go on. Super good. Emojis. Yeah, emojis. Get these emoji design. This has been super fun. And something where you can do like line quality and dynamic expression. It's something anyone can do, but I have always loved emojis ever since I was a youngin', trying to get like dynamic style and excellence in the field of emojis. All kinds of arts, you know? Yeah, those emojis. Let's see. It's Kren's Kush art is the thing. I did not, I referenced Kren's Kush art for all of these. I wrote Kren's there, but you can hardly read it because I was seeing like, you know, if the face is at that angle and you have the construction and then you spend some time just like learning how faces are done from each angle, then when you have this, you get that. This is nice though. Kren's Kush arts, like structural figures are some of the best ever. They're some of the best ever. They're really so good for just like structural figure stuff. And then if you want to learn gestural figure, Ahmed Aldoori's first sketchbook design video is insane. These are all just gestures that he did from a figure drawing class, and I like worked them up a little bit. But even still, if you look at the line work, right? Like this line works all over the place, and I went back and worked it up. I was like trying while I was drawing, and every single line looks like it was on the first take. Man, I'm like, what? I guess we all have like a night like that sometimes. My goodness. Really nice gesture. The combination of gesture and structure in Med's work is amazing. And once I started getting structural stuff as well, I felt like I could appreciate it. I could articulate it. And just the collection of goddamn hints and tips that he gives in that first sketchbook drop video is insane. It's one of the just like best art videos I've ever found. It's super good. Just really chill, light pacing. And the way he just like do an aside and give an example or a demonstration of a thing that was going on in the drawings, crazy good. And just everything, gesture, flow, shading, like amazing. Design, patterning. Med's on a very, very high level and is a fantastic teacher as well. All these dudes been designing characters for games. I've been designing ideas for games for the longest time, but it's usually just like the main characters standing around in an empty space, and I'm like, nah. You gotta engage with the whole world, and then the whole world gets color and value and mystery and depth. So it was just this character going on adventures, jumping around on rocks with swirling patterns and stuff. I was like, we gotta build a village. So I'm working on that. That's the best portfolio piece I've built so far. So yeah, should we go back to drawing Tracer's butt and talking about how Med's the best? So you got this one, like tech things, and posing and manga stuff for dynamic action. I'm trying to put the two worlds together. I was like, Yoji Shinkawa. Okay. Speaks to me. Love Shinkawa art. Crazy good. Again, another like gestural master illustrator and designer. Like he has the illest construction builds, like the Metal Gears and stuff are like technically, like sophisticated models. And he's got technically sophisticated models for all his characters as well. But then it'll just be like a brushstroke that breaks into abstraction, but still perfectly catches the form because they're all very well articulated and designed. Love me some Yoji Shinkawa. Yeah. I've got a whole bunch. I should just like talk about drawing sometime. Yeah, we're obviously talking about drawing right now, but maybe not enough. Yeah, the Fortnite designs been good. I was gonna do, and we will go back and do more Fortnite designs, and a bunch of thumbnails and stuff. I just thought getting the constructional stuff out of the way, and also breaking into the gestural stuff, because like once you can build a good mannequin and you have a good routine for referencing things and getting shapes down, you can use references effectively, and you're learning things, then once you know things, you can suggest them really quickly. And there's ways of doing that. I would like, God, I had his name earlier. It's like the natural way to draw. The natural way to draw, where you look at something, and you just look at the very edge of the thing, and you're drawing in your peripherals while you're looking at the thing. It's like the Nicolaitis natural way to draw. I was trying to practice that, but it's goddamn impossible. So I would just like sit there though, looking at the edge of things while I'm watching a movie or show or something, and just like sketch nonstop for hours, to try and get a really good rhythm and flow and pace where I could gesture things out well. And there's all kinds of exercises that you can do. Just like always be, yeah, that was the other thing, like this kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. You do lines, so you can draw boxes, but also gestures. So you can draw form and pattern and shapes at the same time in abstraction, and like find form in that abstraction while you're continuing moving. So you get this really nice flow and balance. And it's like, yo. You can use that to build things. Okay, I'll probably just do a whole thing. Like, there's no reason to talk about all of this stuff and then go back to drawing Tracer. So we'll just make this a little, just a victory lap. I've been putting in a lot of work recently and getting more excited about the process of drawing. These are Chrono Cross guys. I'm redesigning Chrono Cross enemies to learn all the style of Chrono Cross enemies so that I can draw Chrono Cross-like enemies for the game that I'm trying to build that's based loosely on Chrono Cross and the Chrono series. So these guys are actual like enemies from Chrono Cross, but then I redesigned the shapes of them a little bit. So they look more like, I don't know, like they belong in a world. You know, I'm thinking of like muscles and stuff. Trying to make this guy semi-transparent, so his guts are there. Gesture. If you know what you're drawing, then, you know, in your thumbnails, it's like, that's good. Slide around. They use the water ball spell. Really like the shape of that skull. Red bats. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this and fill this page up. Designs. If this guy's flying, you could have his spine move in there. And the rib cage. And then when you get good at certain types of forms, like you've learned them, then you can draw really, really quickly, which is just fun. You can experiment with it and like have a good time getting into it. And then to experiment with things and go back if they're not right. And you're like, his wings were already up, so what if they were down? That'd be cool. Nice. Try and do a redesign, and then some of the things, actual actions in the game. It'd be really cool. I was working on Final Fantasy VIII, because this is what I used to practice way back in the day before I knew anything about constructional drawing, and just try and draw our boy fighting these crazy things, because there's so many wild designs for creatures in Final Fantasy VIII. Like, look at this thing, the Grendel. What is this even supposed to be? It's like some kind of a dragon, but I mean the like horns on the back and the just like size and shape of it. But then after learning that, I was like, okay, you can do the legs and arms again from any point of view. I think going into Chrono Cross is just fun. Chrono Cross, one of my favorite games ever. Easily one of the best single player game experiences of my life. One of the best scores ever. Yasunori Mitsuda, the goat man. Yeah, the goat man says. You know, that was so fortuitous. Like, how often do you look for a single page in a book and like think of it specifically and open up the book to it? Like, sometimes the universe gives back, man. Sometimes it does. Okay, real quick before we go. What's the idea? Chrono Cipher game. Yeah, no. I like wrote the outline idea for this game when I was playing Zelda Breath of the Wild back in 2017, and the idea was like an epic adventure, the hero and a sword. But she would start on a beautiful flying islands. It'd all be like flying islands, and this is way years before Tears of the Kingdom was even announced. And I'm like, hey, yeah, that's good. My mind was in the right place. I'm doing like environments. Yeah, environments are super good. Catching scene, and oh man, it's hard not to get discouraged when you go on Pinterest and there's all those career design guys that just like post whatever their like specialties are, and they're like special rocks, and there's so many crazy crystalline special rocks and roots and stuff. I'm like, oh, this doesn't even look fantastic at all. But it's pretty good, and it's like, it looks good, and it's a sense of progress from where I was at before that. And you're like, hey, if you made that much progress in that time, then keep practicing. Reference their special rocks, but change them. Remember them and forget them, and use what they've learned in your own way. Listen to Feng Zhu all the time, like reference the real world. And fantasy as well. And create things that excite you or inspire you. Gotta feel it. Shout out Joe Dispenza, always feeling it. And yeah, no, this has been one of the most fun weeks of drawing I have had in a good long while. And I feel like this is like a couple weeks. But it's been a couple weeks of doing other thing and only a week of drawing max in different places. I wish I made this much arts progress all the time. Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, no one should ever try the Nicolaitis natural way to draw. Oh man. I mean, maybe. There was demonstrations of people doing that amazingly accurately. Like drawing on the right side of the brain or something, where you're just like learning the abstract forms and shapes. But I feel like you'd always want to learn construction. And, that one Feng Zhu video where he's talking about building your portfolio in the second part of that series. It's an old FCD video. He talks about just like design drawing, where you look at a stool and you map it out in 3 dimensions, and then you can change and rotate the shape in any kind of way, and building your visual library like that. And I was like, god damn. But Feng Zhu was always like, you block in the scene with your fundamentals, but that is the kind of things that we teach at the FCD Design College, so I can't teach you the fundamentals, or else why would they come to take our course? And I'm like, god damn, they'd come to your goddamn course for your peers, your mentors, your facilities, the momentum you provide to be able to talk to you in person, to ask you questions. There's no reason you can share with me master strategies and all these like just the best design techniques in the world if you already know the foundations without the foundations. So started the quest to find that like a shorthand for drawing in 3 dimensions. But like design sketching in that way really like changed how I thought about art and what I wanted to achieve with it, even though it took a while all to pay off. I love this guy. Okay, we'll talk more later. We'll draw Tracer's butt. And the whole of her. Tracer's just great. We deserve a Tracer illustration, maybe? Yeah. I'm excited. No, I can feel like a collaborative, comprehensive design course coming on in the future somewhere. I could map and block all these things out, and to align and put together different skill sets and mastery. I like to imagine things beyond my own mastery and always advocate for these things, right? And when you build enough shapes, then you always just have them. Whether you draw them or not, you can see in design. Oh, terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, see? Spinal cord. Easy. I'm always like, and then I'll just go back and reference a spinal cord. But I'm so bad about it. I'll just like, that's it. Ah, oh, I'm happy. And, yeah. All right. Peace and love. Goat Man said.